Hi, everybody. Welcome to EduTALK. EduTALK, as you know, is a weekly virtual program, and we focus on topics that are very relevant to our day-to-day living and education. And on EduTalk this week, we have with us Mr. Raj Ramdass, and he is the director of RSC. And RSC is, Raj, what you call it is.
Yeah, it means restore a sense of I can.
Yes, that is very unique because it's a statement in itself instead
Mhm.
of just a company's name that is like, education consulting or technology and so on. Welcome to EduTalk, Raj. It's very good to have you on.
Thank you very much, and thank you big time for having me on and giving me this opportunity to share some ideas with you.
Yes, yes. So you are you the founding director of RSC?
I like to say that in public, but it's really my wife. My wife and I got together, and yes, we both founded RSC.
Okay, okay. So, restoring a sense of I can, RSC, what exactly is it about?
Well, basically, we're a non-profit organization that initially the concept was about trying to help students perform better because we both come from an education background. So our motto really is effecting change
Mm-hmm.
through education and technology. So that's what
Okay.
we're about. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So are you involved with so we're gonna talk about the technology in a little bit, but involving in engaging students or teachers or both and principals in talking, just the conversation around technological development.
Well, the thing is, what we learned over the years, and perhaps the hard way, because initially we were focused on students only. But the truth is, if you want to impact the lives of students, there are multiple stakeholders. So
Mm-hmm.
parents important, of course, the students, the teachers, the administrators, the principals, and so on, and also the different governing bodies like the Ministry of Education and stuff. So at this stage now, I mean, over the years, we have now actually in a position where we engage multi-stakeholders within what we do.
Okay, okay, all right, that's very good. And you start with the students as a focus is very good. So talk about the technology part. How does it work with the technology? What are some of the things that you install in schools or work on in the nonprofit itself to share with the Caribbean region?
Right. Well, for starters, kids today, and if we understand their mindset, even if we could do that, they live in a technology world.
Mm-hmm.
So when you take a child and put him in a classroom that's four concrete walls and a chalkboard or whiteboard or whatever, they're simply not in their natural environment.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what we started to do was, try and engage some kind of technology. And it's a big ship to turn to have technology in the classroom. So a low-hanging fruit was to start technology as a co-curricular activity. So
Okay.
we started tech clubs, fun things. We do robotics, we do coding, we do augmented reality, we do video production. It's a broad spectrum. So it's about teaching the kids basic technology and then having them use this tech now to apply in different projects. And it ended up being tech clubs. So we
Mm.
now have technology clubs.
Oh, so this is an after school initiative at first.
Well, it started as after school, but it is so well established now. A lot of schools have it as part of activities during a school day. We actually timetable in a lot of schools right now.
No, that's very good. That's very good. All right. For the coding, you start with basic coding or you have levels of coding.
Well, initially, coding is something that people in the beginning thought that, coding is like for a certain group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Coding is about teaching a style of thinking, creative thinking, logical thinking, step-by-step thinking. So we tend to use more drag and drop in the beginning because in our mind, especially now in the world of AI, where
Right.
critical thinking is so important, you have to learn how to think it logically, you have to learn how to communicate. So our coding in the beginning is very much drag and drop.
Mm-hmm.
Then we migrate, but you're talking about a small percentage now would migrate into things like Python and so on.
Right. Okay. And the age right now, the age range could be from school age to adult?
Well, that's an interesting one because
Yeah.
initially we started with secondary schools. So we
Okay.
focused on age like 11 to 18.
Okay.
Then bombarded with requests, we went down, and right now we kind of try to start like 7. But on the other end of the spectrum, believe it or not, we now have an elderly club, which is not a nice name because I'm in that age group. Uh, we have an over 60 club.
Mhm.
We teach adults, especially how to be safe online, cybersecurity, how to use the devices. So right now, age is like a non-factor in the clubs we have.
Yeah, that's very good because it affects everybody, regardless of your age. Do you have this open for people that they can join from anywhere across the globe? The one that talks about cybersecurity.
Not not as the club model. The club model is more like a closed group model. So to be in a club, either you're in a school or you're in some community or some organization. We have church clubs, temple clubs, all kind of clubs. So if you're a part of a club, because a club is structured.
Hmm.
But outside the club, we do have quite a number of programs throughout the year that is open to John public. But those would be more events. So you
Hmm.
attend an event, sometimes a Saturday session or whatever session. And then we also have classes. So we might have a 5-week or a 10-week program on cybersecurity or AI or coding. John Public can join that. But
Okay.
club, you must be it's membership type club. It's free,
Okay.
but it's membership. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let me do a plug here. You have things on your website, right? So what's the website that people can go on to get information?
Well, interesting enough, we do have some stuff on the website,
Hmm.
but we tend to be low-keyed with respect to, because, like I said, most of our activities, you're going to be belonging to something. What
Yeah.
we have is a portal that is not open to John public, but you could just go online and search RSC Tech Club or
Hmm.
search name, restore a sense of icon, and a couple of websites will come up, a couple other information will come up. But that is like, I would say 30% because, the stuff that you belong to a club to, we don't have that posted openly. Yeah.
So people really need to join. You have membership in RSC?
Yes. You
Okay.
have a membership through a club model based on a club. But like I said, that's not for the open training. Anybody can do open training. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So if people want to join, they go to or become a part of the network,
All
they
right.
can just Google
Yeah.
restoring a sense of I can
All
and
right.
join it. Okay. No, when I was in Grenada, my first encounter with you and the program, I thought it was really remarkable with
Thank you.
how you manage streaming online workshops, dealing with the different technological offerings that you had to share things online and also to edit videos and so on. And people can tap into that where workshops and communication in education is concerned, where you have to use technology, you have to use these devices and so on. But one of the things that I saw was the training of the AI
Yeah.
model that actually speak in Trini voice.
Yeah.
And that AI model actually helps students with mathematics at the CXC level.
All right.
Yeah, walk us through this idea of like what did you think of and how did you come to develop this model and this girl who is talking in Trini voice and actually helping you with CXC math,
All right. So the thing is, it helps a bit to understand the background going into that, but I'll be brief.
right?
Like I said, both my wife and I, we are educators, we've been teachers. Um, and one of the thing about being a teacher is that you don't select who is going to be in your class in the public system. So you're going to have a class of 30 children, you'll have 4 or 5 different classes you're teaching. And these children would come to your class and they have different levels, different style, different learning styles, different issues. And you, as a teacher, expected in 45 minutes or an hour and a half to teach all these kids and then move on to the next class and teach all these kids. And then you have this problem of, we have an exam to meet at a certain time, a certain age, these kids. So, there's a schema work. So I'm not saying anything wrong with the system. What I'm saying is that system truly does not allow individualized learning. And it can really frustrate the teachers and the system. So what we started to do is long before the advent of LLM and so on, we started to develop content, software content that kids could have teach them. So we used to actually have human beings and lots of human beings teaching, making videos so kids could understand topics, they could support themselves. And then with the advent of AI, we realized that look, hey, we can actually build our own models and extend other models, use our own data sets, so you don't have this stuff like hallucination and all these other things, and specifically train the AI on
Mm-hmm.
that you want the child to learn, and then train the AI so that this AI now could understand the child, could what we call scaffold the training to suit the level of the child, capture data back from the child. The training voice really was a different story because what we had to do in this particular case, I have four people who digitally signed over their voice to us. And three of those four people did not have a choice. One is my wife, I have her voice, right? My son, and two others. And we use their voice to train an AI. So the AI actually speaks like them. It is
Oh,
dangerous, so we have it as a black box. So it can only work with the content that we're putting in there. So when we develop content, when we do stuff and feed it to the AI, that AI speaks like a trainee. We are currently building other accents, but the reality is we're using human voices to train the AI to be able to do that. But it's like
yeah.
a robot. Yeah.
Yes, that's very cool. I thought it was very culturally responsive type of education, so it's very good. Because when I listen to it, I'm thinking if I hear that in my own voice, that's my people talking to me, helping me with math. So I would tend to listen more than to like, if somebody from outside would be talking, then I tend to listen to the accent more than the content. So that is very good.
All right.
Um,
In addition, if I could cut you, in addition to just the accent, the
yes.
itself is culturally related. So, like for example, if you're in Trinidad talking to the AI and it's giving an example about variables, it'll talk to you about buying doubles. And so, okay, buy two doubles, let the number doubles you buy equal D. If you go to another country, they'll talk patties, they'll talk, whatever it might be. Try to get the cultural reference of the country into the style of teaching.
That's very good. That is remarkable. That is so cool. What exactly are you looking at in terms of the goal for RSC? What's your projected goal? Maybe for the next 5, 10 years, or maybe not years to it, but what you want it to be, ideally.
I wish I could really understand that, but sometimes looking forward is good to just watch back a bit.
Mhm.
Over the years, RSC has taken a sort of culture, a life form of its own that's way beyond the people who quote unquote run it or support it. We literally have thousands of participants in RSC. We have hundreds of volunteers. The tech clubs themselves come up with their own ideas and their own projects, and we just support. So what we find happening is that a lot of things that is happening now and expansion and growth and ideas is really coming from the system itself. And then in addition to that, as it just keeps scaling, more and more stuff keep coming. And what is happening with ours, like the actual club model is like official since 2014, but the training and activity since the 90s. So a
Hmm.
lot of people who pass through us, and that a lot of kids, say we learned this, we love this, we became who we are because of us. They come back to us now. So
Yeah.
some volunteers have been with us like more than 10 years, and they have their own ideas and their own stuff. So what's happening with ours is it's now multi-pronged in where it's going. So definitely big in AI, big in security, big in supporting kids in schools. But beyond that, like all that you experience in Grenada with all the streaming and digital and video and all of this, that's another arm that's just going in a different direction. So there's so many different directions. The truth is, honestly, it's no longer in the hands or even the vision of the core team of directors or even the advisors, because it's just happening. And we're just saying thank you, God, because there's one mission and there's one vision to help kids,
Yes.
help people. That's really what it is.
Yeah, yeah. What I want to talk about a little bit is the help that is going across the Caribbean islands, because I think and countries, so Central America, Belize involved.
Right.
What are how do you see it helping students in schools? And I mean like is it adapting fast enough to assist with the learning, like I talk about CXC already, which is the for those of us who don't know, is the Caribbean education assessment for high school. Um, how do you see it being adapted by schools across the region? Is it on a large scale or you need more marketing?
When you say adapting, are you speaking about how systems adapt into technology, meaning educational systems, or are you talking
No,
specifically AI?
specifically your program, because I saw it as a really tremendous help when I saw the model to help with CXE math, for example. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk say something like CXC math, right? The last time we ran it open, we had 27,000 students writing CXC using it. Now that might sound like a significant number, but in reality, there's 108, 110 students writing the exams. So the adoption rate is not where it should be when you look at that. Of course, if you see, wow, 27,000 students uses per year. So it's been accepted and processed over time. Of course, you do have challenges, yeah, because if you're using an online system, you're talking about challenges of devices, connectivity. We are launching a system in 1 month, fully AI, avatar speaking, that's 100% offline. But of course, you still need device to be able to use it. But here's the real thing. That AI and that support is a tool. A child who's not motivated, you could give them the best tool in the world, is not going to work.
True.
Support system that's required beyond the tool. The tool is to just act as within the support system to assist. What is required is to motivate the children. What is required is to love these children. What is required is to give them belief. What is required is to figure out what's really the problem behind the problem. And the tool will help them once the child want to move on. And that is really where the work is. To me, that's where the work is.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So you're saying that it needs a holistic approach to student development, not just the tool itself. Because we keep on talking about it too in our workshops with schools that if teachers don't understand the content and the goal, then the AI system will lead them into so many different directions that they don't want to get into.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
each stakeholder has their problems. And then if you speak Caribbean education, we have what, 17, 18 countries writing the same exam under the same examination body. And most of the decision makers, and no disrespect meant to anyone, most of the decision makers are experts 20 years back.
Yes.
And these are the decision makers leading the system moving forward. And the kids are confused because some of the decisions just don't make sense.
Yeah.
One central examination body across the region. We live in a whole big geographical world now. 17 countries, 7 different sets of politicians, 7 different sets of 17, decision makers. So it's as more complex than we think, but everybody has a role to play to make it happen.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. And I see it across the region when I travel to different islands and working with them. It's mind-boggling to see. It's a small but large. The Caribbean is really big.
Right.
And we call it a Caribbean community, but it's so splintered with different fractions and beliefs and systems. So I want to give a shout out to your wife and you for creating this, and I really love it. RSC, and I wish that people would go online and check it out too, but to become involved in it. The work that I see happening with you and the team is really remarkable, and I wish that more of our Caribbean partners and even international too will become a part of the whole system to push it, to drive it, because it's not just technology, but it's technology with a focus on student development with cultural responsive pedagogy infused in it. Thank you, Raj. Thank you so much, and say hi to your wife for me. I really appreciate this.
Thank you very much for having me again, and we'll definitely keep in touch.
Yes, yes. All right. Take care, everybody. This has been EduTalk. If you want to write to us at edusolutionsintl@gmail.com or visit our website at edusolutionsintl.org. That's edusolutionsintl.org. We'll see you next week with another edition. Walk good, everybody. Bye bye.